was the site of one of the state's deadliest fire in decades. This assisted living residence in Fall River has been owned by the same man since 1999. And on the surface, Dennis Etzkorn appears to be an accomplished business owner.
But 5 investigates Karen Anderson dug deeper and found there's more to Etzkorn than his financial success.
Gabriel House assisted living residence in Fall River is boarded up more than 2 weeks after the fire that killed 10 people living inside.
Hold on to me.
Those who survived, many of whom are poor and on Mass Health, now live elsewhere. But questions remain about the cause and the conditions inside before the fire. Debbie Johnson worked there.
Bed bugs, cockroaches, mice, broken elevators, disgusting food. And that's all the God's honest truth.
Gabriel House may have been a place for people with few options, but that's not the case for owner Dennis Etzkorn. He has 3 homes to pick from. For starters, there's his primary residence in Medfield, a 4-bedroom colonial assessed at $1.3 million. He also has a waterfront home on Lake Winnipesaukee assessed at nearly $3 million. If he wants to escape the cold, he has another $3 million option. This house, right on Biscayne Bay in Miami. We learned about Etzkorn's properties from public records we've been looking through to try to understand more about him, Gabriel House, and the fire. Those records show he has ownership stakes in this mental health counseling center in Plymouth, as well as a shopping center and rental units in Dennisport. There are also extensive records of another kind in federal court. 3 former Gabriel House employees filed separate lawsuits against Etzkorn, accusing him of sexual harassment. Though Etzkorn denied all allegations and settled the suits, the women's accusations are public record and are graphic. A nurse said she endured Etzkorn's grabbing her hands and placing them on his genitals, touching and attempting to touch her breast and crotch, placing his hand on her legs, forcefully placing a sex toy between her legs. A woman who worked as a receptionist and bookkeeper also accused Etzkorn of unwanted touching. And a third woman says he created an intimidating, hostile, humiliating, and sexually offensive work environment. In denying the allegations, Etzkorn said the women themselves were extremely informal, sexually suggestive, and intimate in conversation, as well as in personal contact with him. He went on to say the flirtatious behavior was really a plot to entrap him and extort money from him by threatening to go to his wife and family, as well as file a lawsuit against him. In the thousands of pages filed by both sides, another facet of Gabriel House is revealed. The documents show the State Executive Office of Elder Affairs investigated Gabriel House in 2009 after receiving complaints not only about Etzkorn's purported treatment of women, but also conditions at the home. Residents said there was nothing to do and the food is awful. A staff member said she and other workers often bring food from home when the kitchen does not have enough. In fact, a state investigator saw the problem firsthand. In her report, she wrote she witnessed dinner being served and said it appeared to be about 1 tablespoon of egg salad on a hot dog roll. After that visit, the state sanctioned Gabriel House, issuing fines and refusing to pay for new admissions until the violations were resolved. We went to Dennis Etzkorn's home asking for a comment. No one came to the door. In a statement, he declined an interview, saying, "My sole concerns and all that matters right now are helping investigators determine all the facts and circumstances of this tragedy and helping our residents' loved ones in this unbearable time of immense grief." The statement went on to say Gabriel House has been consistently in compliance with regulations, with rare exceptions that were promptly addressed. Authorities have identified a resident smoking and an oxygen machine as possible causes of the fire. But the question of just why it turned so deadly is still under investigation. In the newsroom, Karen Anderson, 5 Investigates.